This is my old GFI outlet in my bathroom that I just remodeled. And in this video, I'll show you how to install a new GFI outlet. Let's begin. So as you can see, I have a green light here, but I messed something up because when I plug this in, it doesn't power up. And this outlet right here on the other side also doesn't work. Watch to the very end to see what I did wrong in my wiring. So for this repair, all you need is a couple screwdrivers, a drill, and something to test your outlet. I'm using this outlet tester, but you can plug in a light or anything else. So here's the outlet that I got. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a GFI outlet. You can pick these up. I'll have links in the description below. But here's what a new one looks like. Nothing special, just your typical GFI outlet. It comes with these types of instructions, so it's always good to review them to make sure you didn't miss anything before proceeding. Step 1. It's always a good idea to plug something into your outlet to make sure it works, and then turn off your circuit breaker. And as you can see, the light is off. Step 2. Use a flathead screwdriver and remove the cover. Step 3. Then use a drill and remove these screws. And pull out the outlet way out here like this. Step 4. One thing I wanted to point out that the new one is a little bit slimmer because it's a newer model. This helps giving you more space in your junction box to push all the wires in, which is kind of cool. So pay attention to how you're gonna wire this. There's an attention label here that basically says, attention, the low terminals under this label are for feeding additional receptacles. Miswiring can leave this outlet without the ground. Fault protection, read instructions for prior to wiring. So the best thing you can do if you're replacing an existing outlet is match the same wiring. In my case, I have another outlet in this bathroom. That's why there is 4 wires here. But if it's just one GFI you're replacing, usually there would be just 3 wires. And that's why they have this one taped off, because you would just use the top portion. But in my case, I'm matching everything how it's wired here. So I'll take the white wire from here, put it over here, the black wire from there, over here. Same thing for the bottom, and then same thing for the ground. So typically to remove these, you just unscrew the screw and you remove the wire. So I like to do 1 wire at a time. That way I don't mess anything up. It's easier. And this one will go over here. You just loosen this up and put the wire in like this. And then tighten it up. I'm also gonna remove this sticker. Do this bottom white. Pull that out. Now we do the black ones. Take this one from the top. Pull that out. Push this one in. Hold it and tighten it. Connections look like these are the white wires. These are the black wires. Step 5. Now you're gonna push these back in. And then I typically like to use a screwdriver first, a Phillips head, to get these started before I use my drill, like this. That way I know I got it in the hole and it kind of get it started. And then I'll use a drill, but I don't over tighten it with the drill because I don't want to bend this bracket, because you probably could. I want to make sure it's nice and tight, but at the same time I want to make sure it's nice and straight and make my necessary adjustments that I need before I put back the cover. Then you put the cover back on. Now make sure you don't over tighten these screws because it will start bending the cover plate, and that just looks terrible. So tighten it, but don't over tighten it. You'll see the cover bending. And then turn the circuit breaker back on. I messed something up because when I plug this in, it doesn't power up. Let's see what I did wrong. So here's where I messed up. As you can see from the front face, the outlets look the same. So logically you would think the top goes to the top, bottom goes to the bottom. However, if you flip it upside down, That's not the case. Here I have line on top and load on the bottom, and here I have line on the bottom and load on the top. So what happens is from your service panel, the power goes to the line, and then from the load it goes to another outlet that's in my bathroom. So in my case, since I wired my line to the bottom, it went to the load and then to the line. Therefore, this outlet wasn't working properly because it's not wired properly. Here's another illustration that kind of explains it, to where it goes from service panel to line, then the load, then another outlet and another outlet. In this illustration, it's basically talking about that your GFI has to be in A in order B and C to be protected. You can't put your GFI in C and expect B and A to be protected. That's not how that works. So now I'm going to rewire it and see the results I get. Now that I have it rewired, let's test the outlet. First, let's see if this goes away, if we reset it. So it looks like it works. Now let's try it with one of these. So this powers on now, which is good. And when I hit test, it turns off, which is also good. Now let's test this outlet on this side. And it also works. If you want to learn how I installed this outlet, check out this video next.